I'll just do a brief intro, and then we can start. Let me see. Yep, I think we're live now.
Mhm.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bezerra Spiritual Healing Center. For those who are here for the very first time, we are a non-denominational spiritist center, and here we respect all religions, all spiritual traditions. That means that you are welcome to bring your thoughts, your questions. This is a safe space for us to debate, for us to discuss. We are all growing together. Before I do some announcements, we always begin our service with a prayer. So I would like to ask our dear sister Sunshine to come up and give our opening prayer. For those who are not speaking, please make sure that your microphones are muted.
Thank you, Kiki.
Thank you, sister.
So let us close our eyes and let us visualize our inner eyes, and let's open those while we have our physical eyes closed. And in order for us to be really present, let us pull our physical form into presence by connecting with our feet firmly on the ground, wiggling our toes, saying hello to Mother Earth. Then let us connect with our breath, taking beautiful deep inhales and purifying exhales, visualizing all pure energy entering through our lungs. And on our exhale, let us visualize that everything that's not aligned with God's love and light will release into our beloved Mother Earth. She will be transforming it. Let us also say hello to our hearts and our heart centers, the heart chakra, this beautiful organ that keeps us connected to this body, of course, among other things. And the heart chakra that keeps us connected to everything in all realms, from the rocks to the plants, the animals, and spirits. And now let us say hello to God, first cause of all things, the merciful God who created us. And let us say hello to Jesus, our beloved guide and model. Jesus who came before us, teaching us and modeling to us of how to walk the path of love. And let us also say hello to Dr. Becerra, to Dr. Paulo, to Sister Shayla, and all the beautiful healing doctors and spirits, both on high and all spirits that are here with us to learn. Thank you for your presence, and thank you for allowing us to gather here in your name. And we pray that our dear sister Tania will be guided by the mentors. And thank you for her service. And we pray that we will be connected in body, mind, and spirit to each other's, and that our hearts and minds are wide open to allow today's lessons to penetrate us, to make them our own, so we can walk what we will be learning, walking the talk, so to speak. Thank you, God, for your mercy, your indulgence with us, your benevolence, and your forgiveness. And with this, we ever so humbly ask for permission to begin today's meeting. And so be it, and so it is. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, sister. Beautiful prayer.
You're welcome.
All right, everyone. So, as we were saying, PSH is a member of the United States Spiritist Federation, and our spiritual beliefs are based around scientific, philosophical, and religious principles of spiritism. As Emmanuel, the spirit mentor of Chico Xavier, taught us, knowledge and love. Hey, sweetie, I'm speaking. Sorry. Knowledge and love are the wings for our spiritual evolution. And this is the reason why this service is divided into two parts. So the first part, we always have someone speaking and sharing findings from remarkable and qualified mediums and spirits. During this time, it's really important that you participate, active listening, since your mentor is definitely working with you, supporting you with your needs, and while you're hearing the insights from the speaker. So we highly encourage you to take a piece of paper, write down some notes, because carrying and working on these reflections along the week is what will help you to sustain the energy that you are already receiving while you are here at the center. And then in the second part, we have a hands-on healing pass, where your mentor will be working with BSH mediums and the benefactors of the good for you to receive the healing energy. Now, we know that this is a lifetime event, so let me share with you all the opportunities that we have for us to be together and be in this role. Yeah, just a second. I'm sorry. I have my 2-year-old here and she's excited. um, so here is our website, bshcenter.org. And if you go to the meetings and events, you should be able to find all this information, which I'll go through very quickly. First of all, everything is under the same Zoom link. So the same one that you used for it to be in this meeting is the same that you will use for any of the events that you see in here. On Sundays, we have this service now from 10 to 11:30-ish Pacific time. And we have daily prayers every day, of course, 6 p.m. again Pacific time. Typically, it takes 15-20 minutes for us not only to receive, but also to give positive thoughts. Everybody's welcome to join us to either pray out loud or just to listen the vibrations. We also have fraternal counseling. This one usually takes, it's a by appointment only, usually on Wednesdays from 4 to 7 p.m. You don't have to go through your struggles alone. You don't have to go through your struggles alone. We are here with you and for you. So do consider us if you are in need of absolutely anything. And we do have a lot of different book studies. Just a second. So we do have many different book studies. All these studies begin at 6:30 p.m. approximately for 1 hour. On Sundays, we just started by end of July, Missionaries of the Light from André Luiz via Chico Xavier. On Tuesdays, we are reading the book The Consoler by Emmanuel via Chico Xavier, and this one is in collaboration with Divine Light Spiritist Group, led by Sunshine, the person who led the opening prayers today. On Wednesdays, we are reading the book Heaven and Hell by Allan Kardec, and on Thursdays, we are reading the book Living Spring, also by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. Now, one thing is important. It doesn't matter if you had not started with us. It's okay, because most of these books, they have individual chapters, so it's going to be easy for you to catch up. And we also have mediumship services, but this one is closed. It's important for you to know that this service is the first time is an educational part, but this one is also not open for the public. It's just open once you finalize the introduction to a spiritism course. You will be then invited to join this group. But then in the second part of this group, we do have healing services. So if you or anyone who you know is in need, do let us know. We will put the person's name in treatment to receive either physical healing or spiritual healing. And during this, like 4 weeks-ish that the person stays in treatment, we highly encourage them to stay in tune during this service. So read the gospel, meditate, relax, and make sure that you're open to receive the healing energy that will be here. Now, I will stop sharing so then I can introduce us to our sister who is going to be speaking to us today. And just so you all know, during September, we dedicate as much as possible our services and our speech to the suicide awareness prevention, of course. So if we will be speaking about it, and let me just give me 1 second, sister. So today, Tania will be talking to us about memories of a suicide. enlightening us through the experience of someone who had gone through it. And for those who are meeting her for the first time, she's a natural born medium from Brazil who has helped others with her spiritual gifts and mediumship since childhood. At 11 years old, she discovered her connection with the teachings of Christ through the study and teaching of catechism in the Catholic Church. When Tania was 26 years old, she was inspired by a book about Chico Xavier's life and decided to pursue the study of Spiritism at a local Spiritist center. For more than 20 years, Tania has been spreading and teaching Spiritism with simplicity and love wherever she goes. Her goal is always the same, to elevate her soul while helping others to become better servants of Christ. Tania is a founding member and vice president of Bezerra Spiritual Healing Center and co-founder of Brazilian Spiritual Healing. So, Tania, as I give the stage to you, everybody please help me to give her a warm welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for your love. And this is a very sad topic, very difficult. Putting together all of this, we duel in our lives with life and death, happiness and sadness, richness and poverty, and light and darkness. So this is what we go through our lives. I will not take, because we have time limited. So it's 1:15 now. I have 40 minutes. And I will try to present what I planned for today. It is a memory of someone who committed suicide in the year of 1071 in Alexandria in Egypt. So she was 15 years old. She grew up in a beautiful environment. Her parents was the manager of that huge farm. They have, her father took care of the horses, and it was like a very luxury, very expensive horses, because the family was one of the richest of the area at that time. So she grew up happy with the animals and the sheep and the hills and the farms and the shields, and playing a happy life. So she grew up with one of the primogenites of the owner of the farm. He was older than her, but always around. So she got in love. They got in love. The friendship turned to love. And then the story starts. So one day, he came to her and said to her that the parents has arranged a wedding for him. He was close to complete the old age at that time, and so was time for planning the wedding. So he came and told her the situation. He could not convince his parents to change the idea. And he came to her and told her desperately what happened with them. So they have a plan. He has a plan to continue that romance. And the plan was they will get arrange a marriage to her, and the guy, the good friend of them, will be going to live close to the farm that he would have with his new family, and they will be keep the romance together. So the time comes after that day. 6 months was very sad to her to accept that situation. She's too young, no education, and very simple life. And she could not accept that situation because they were belong to one another, and there was a lot of promise of love to one another. So they met again after 6 months. And then he came and promised to her that everything would be okay. The wedding was coming close, and for her to keep strong with their promise, he would keep the promise. And then they made love that day, and like say goodbye for now until things start to arrange again. So here she starts to get very anxious and jealous. She starts to get sick, depressed, unhappy. And the friend who was arranged to marry her, she has no interest to talk to him or to meet with him. They have to force that relationship, but she has no interest in them. So her mother came to the house and told her, "You need to come and help me because the wedding day is approaching." And that was a long winter, and more the winter come, in the middle of that, more depressed she got. Nothing was beautiful, nothing was desirable to her. She lost a lot of weight. She started to get more in bed than outside the house. And the parents always working and didn't call her on time to see that. And the mother just came and asked her to be prepared because the day was approaching. So the wedding day is very close. So as the spring, one of the best and beautiful times of the year, but not for me at that time. I could not pay attention. The smell of the flowers in the shields, in the garden, in the trees, nothing was important for me. Not even the bright light of the sun that I used to love, bathing in the sunlight. Nor the beautiful blue in the skies with top clouds. Nothing that was impressed me. Neither the songs of the happy birds. Everything for me was dark. Everything for me was cold. Everything for me was sad. And a big movement at the farm started to grow. People came from all over. The guests started to arrive. The house was huge, with 20 bedrooms. There was a music, sarals. They start to play every day. And a lot of the employees was hiding to help in the preparation and the decoration of the wedding because they were the richest in the whole area. They accepted the position of his parents to hold the wedding in their farm. So the parents of the bride accept the imposition of his parents to hold the wedding in the farm. So everything was prepared and nothing from him, not one word. And I was weak, skinnier than ever, and no desire to move or to do anything. He sent a message to his friend saying he was counting on me and that after the wedding, he would find the time for us to get together. The grand days arrives. I was tired and don't want to listen, see or get out of the bed, or to go anywhere. I was so tired and my parents could not understand what was going wrong with me. They were so busy working so hard to help in the wedding and helping with the servants they were managing. They didn't even pay attention, a deep, close attention, how I was doing. I got out that day with the intention to rather die than be with him and her and be a witness of his life with her, seeing his growing his family with her, growing his children with her. I made my mind that day. I would no longer live. It was that. It was enough. So my mother practically forced me to dress and to help her in the party. I did everything to not go, but I had no other way to escape. And I promised to her that I would go. So told her, go in front of me, and I will go after you. So with very difficulties and desire to go and not strength, I did keep my promise to her. So at the entrance of the front yard of the house, everything was different. There was a beautiful decoration. One thing that kept in my memory was the smell of the flowers. I could smell them even now. The strong smell, the sweet smell was impregnated in everywhere. As I was going through, near way, I saw the bride in her carriage, dressed in her white dress. She looks tall, skinny, beautiful, very expressive eyes. She looked at me and waved. Her dress was so beautiful. And not too far away, I saw him smile at her. I saw a spark in his eyes. He was a prideful man waiting for his bride. Waiting for his bride. And everyone was astonished with her beauty. The musician was playing a romantic melody. I could not stay. I ran back to the house and cried. My heart was stirred in peace. I want to die right there in front of them. I could not live to witness their happiness. So I ran out back to my house. I went to the basement of the house and lay down on the floor and cried desperately. I searched for everything to kill myself. Words loudly come to my mind. Poison. Poison yourself with the remedy that kills rats. They have a poison there. You will find them. You will find them. And it's like someone was holding my hand and guiding me through where the rat poison was. So without a thought of the consequences of what I was doing, I took the poison bag. I ran to the kitchen, have a glass of water, run back to the basement, and there I drank it. After a few minutes, I was suffering with the last memories in my mind of his sparkly eyes and beautiful smile waving to his bride. The pain is so strong, it is strange, strange pain. I'm struggling. It is like very cell of my body was accusing me. They try so hard to survive. They try to keep alive that body. And I don't have motivation to fight with them. I just want to die. I don't want to stay here. And why I'm still feeling all of this. I feel my cells, my organs struggling, accusing me, and the pain excruciating my whole body. It is hard to breathe. There is a lot going on that I can't even explain. I could feel the tightness in my veins, my esophagus, my stomach, my pancreas, my liver, my kidneys. I could navigate inside of me with that poison. And now the cells were screaming loudly, and the whole body started to shake and start to convulsing. My body fought so hard to keep alive, and my mind is awake, and I want to shut my eyes, and I want to shut my thoughts, and I can't. It is screaming at me, assassin, assassin, assassin. Finally, the body stopped fighting. The heart started to beat slowly, and the beat took long space. It is long. And finally, I felt the body static, freezing, not move at all. But why? Why am I still here? Why is my mind still alive? Why am I still thinking? The body silent. And how do I kill the mind? I still hearing, listening, this voice inside my mind. Assassin, assassin, assassin. You killed me. You killed me. And I could not understand. I want to get off the body, but I can't. It is like a cement. I'm tied to the body. The body cannot move, and I can't either. And what is going wrong? What I did wrong? And I can't. I can't do anything right now. I cannot get out of the body. I don't know how. And my mind doesn't stop. I'm getting cold. I'm getting scared. What I have done. What I have done. Why I did it. Why? Why I didn't die. Is that no end? Why? Can I go back to the body? Can I ask for help? Is anyone there? Is someone can help me, please? Please, is anyone there? I want to scream loudly to find if someone can come and find me, but no movement around me, and only this voice inside my mind, assassin, assassin, assassin. I don't know how long. I don't know how many hours I was there. My mother, my father looked after me, could not find me anywhere. And the next day at noon, my father found my body. My belly was bloated, and they found me dead. They did not know what happened to me, why I had done that. It was very sad, very hard moment to me to see my father over my body, crying desperately, asking why that happened. And even worse was when my mother came to find my body. It was so hard. I could not get out. My intention was to run far away. The sounds and the words of my father and my mother crying was deeply sad to hear. It is still in my ears today. What they had done wrong. And I want to say, I didn't think about you. You had done anything wrong. It is my fault, or was his fault. the love of my life. I could not. They could not listen to me. They could not hear me. And it was hard, a very sad and hard moment. And the news goes around, and my friend was the first come to see my body and went to tell him, but he was gone on their honeymoon trip. And I do not know how long he learned about that sad news. But there was me inside that body. I could not get out. It was a hell to me. Hear every thought around me from the people who was in my funeral. I was desperately tied to that body. I could not move 1 centimeter out of that body. And I want to tell everybody, I was there. I could hear them, but I could not move. I could not talk. And they was going to bury me. That was a hard time for me. I screamed out loud. I want to protest. I want to tell them I'm here. I'm still here. I'm not dead. Please don't bury me. I'm alive. Don't bury me. Don't bury me. So this is the memory of a suicide. This is a book I'm writing. It's just a part of the book. And this was me in 1071. So this memory is very alive, is still very alive inside of me. In 1995, before I read about spiritism, I had plans to kill myself. And I got out to drive my car, and something could be happen, accident, and I would die. Unfortunately, that was desperation. And the spirit took myself, drove me to a spiritual center where that therapist came to give me that regression session. He came to me he saw me, his mentor asked for help, that my mentors was asking for help. So that was almost 4 hours in regression session. So every details, everything came, and I decided to write a book, The Memories of a Suicide, to help others. As we know today in the world, every 40 seconds, someone killed themselves. Every 40 seconds, someone is dying anywhere. And what caused it? Through this story, can you point there what motivate that young lady to commit suicide? Was vanity? Was jealousy? Fears? Love? What kind of love that we have to others greater than to our own selves? The ingratitude? And all the sadness when things, what we do in our life, this time in my life, when I planned that, okay, I cannot live like this anymore. I have 2 kids. I was a single mother. I got divorced. A lot of things was around me, motivating me. But where was my strength? When you're ignorant and you commit crimes against yourself, or sins against yourself, is because you are ignorant. But I wasn't ignorant. I was not a spiritist, but I was a catechist. I taught religions. I taught life, light, how to love one another, how to respect one another. And the first thing a suicide does is disrespect God. He gave us life. And the second is disrespect our fathers and mothers. We are dishonoring them because they did a great job building the physical body to us. And we are disrespecting our own selves. Do you pay attention when she said here, the cells was fighting, the organs was fighting? So this brought to me in the moment writing this, the mentors around me, and said, that is why the great message in this world is to illuminate yourself. When you are living in the life with all the difficulties that we request to go through our lessons, because we need that lessons, we forget to live the life within. We are used to live the life outside, to express and to honor everyone outside. And we forgot that each cells represent a divine being with us. Is that cells that is coming to compose the bodies, they are of service of God, to keep our spirit here on this matter, in this great school for us to live. So billions out there and billions inside here. So what we are done to illuminate ourselves. And then the mentor said, when we pollute this community inside of us, when we pollute with our thoughts, and when we allowed this energy, darkness inside of us, that when we are killing our own selves, causing a lot of illness. And the brain has this great power over us to illuminate or to destroy us. So he said, all the cells is made to keep us, to keep the divine laws in harmony with us. So as we grow up, we allow the world outside to come inside of us. And we forgot we forgot that we are responsible to keep the light inside. We want to give light to everyone else. And how about inside? So in the world today, we see a lot of cases of the fathers, or the majority in 4 people who commit suicide, only 1 is women. So the number of the men killing themselves more than women. In the majority, they kill themselves because the pressure and responsibility of financial life. They don't keep together. And today, what happened with the teenagers? Did you listen when she said, they did not have time for me. They did not even notice what was going wrong with me. I lost a lot of weight, no? I was more inside than outside, like she was a girl that loves to be outside. She loves nature, animals. And then she started to get more inside. She doesn't want to go out. And the parents is working hardly, moving, doing service to others to keep their obligations, their responsibilities, but they did not pay attention. In our society today is no different. It's more youth living their individual life in online, no? They have their life with the medias, with the games they play, or different communities all over the world. And the parents is still working hardly to give to their children everything they need to have a happy life. So what is motivating all of the people and what we can do to help them? A story like this. We have the book called The Memoirs of a Suicide by Ivone Pereira. You can find in Amazon Kindle. So Camille, so sorry. The spirit who wrote that book, because I have three names in my mind right now, from Camilo Castelo Branco. He was a Portuguese from Lisbon. He was a successful man, and he was having a hard, difficulties on financial life, and got very sick. And everything was too much for him. He decided to just shut his brain. And after a long time on the spiritual world and suffering, after rescued, he decided to come close to medium Ivone Pereira and want to give the message to the world. So through that book, Memoirs of a Suicide, have been helped millions of people to keep the strength to fight to their life, to give them hope that everything shall pass. In our lives here, I bet every one of us have gone through a very hard, difficult time, a very hard illness. So we all have fought to keep ourselves alive. So I want to ask our brother Charles to read a part what Spiritism does for us, because Spiritism saved my life. And I just want him to read the chapter 5 on the, I think, 17. Just pay attention to the message of the spirit, the gospel according to Spiritism.
So instead of reading, because I have the Portuguese version of the book, I'm just going to develop some of the main thoughts of this paragraph. It's very important, this paragraph, so I recommend that all of us revisit and study it and try to go deeper into the topic. Because I'd like to praise Tania for the courage to present what you just presented. That's a very good example, because all of us here in this screen has at least one experience going through the experience of suicide in previous lives, because there are many forms of suicide. Nowadays, it's very common to understand that it's suicide by cop, suicide by war, suicide by drugs, etc. And that experience is very traumatic and takes away from each of our time on this earth, long time to recover from it. So in this paragraph, it talks exactly about this process where we become discouraged to face our troubles in our daily lives. And then we think that suicide is an easy alternative. Why not eliminate everything? And a part of this is consequence of very poor educational system. We are not educated to understand that life is eternal. We are not educated to consider that the spiritual reality of us. So this is ingrained in our cultures, in our society. So the Memoirs of a Suicide involves all this process. So basically, it's about the ignorance of understanding that there are alternatives, that problems is not going to last forever. Our challenge is temporary. So why give up on trying? Or even don't rush things, wait for the answer until things will go, because every suffering has its time limit. And that's what spiritists bring to our understanding. So we are very fortunate to have been exposed to spiritism and to this knowledge, because it's about our education. So it's a grave mistake to believe that God, the creator of everything, had not really supported us in order to overcome whatever challenge we go through. So basically, I personally have this clear understanding that in many of my lives that I have opted to go in that route in many different forms. But ignorance was the one that showed me that I select the path that I wanted to go. It's my choice. So what we have nowadays are people that are not clear about all the influences, and we are so influenced by our physical reality that we don't consider the spiritual. We still, I don't know, how many of us still doubt that we are a spirit? How many of us still need to have this proof? Prove it to me that the spirit exists. So, there's a great medium in Brazil, Eurípides Bassanufo. He was a staunch Catholic educator, scientist, and that was exposed to spiritism, very fortunate, way before Chico Xavier, way before. And he was the first spiritist that I know of that understood this concept of education. So he's the first one that created the first school of spiritism, the Allan Kardec College. Well, we call it college in Brazil, but it's high school. That's the name, and it's still in the little city of Sacramento in Minas Gerais. I believe that Mark even was close by over there, so you understand that. It's the alternative that we have. So we here we are learning about this and we are educating ourselves about these principles because it is our responsibility to pass it on. Because that's the mission of the spiritist, is to continue to improve yourself, take care of yourself, and your influence will pass on to the next one. Even by just osmosis, just by touching, you can influence somebody. So embody yourself, fulfill yourself with this knowledge, with this understanding, and present this certainty to those around us. When we speak about it, when we think about it, we are projecting this, and that's how we influence others. I don't know if you understand my point, but that's the power of
Thank you.
invest in yourself.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. And this topic on chapter 5, item 17, they will talk the importance of spiritism on the earth. Because more that you know that the spirit come and go, continue life and come back and live the life and go. So what they wanna, Kardec wanna us to learn from here, because that time have a lot of suicide too. And he wanna motivate us when he said, from these reasons alone, the number of people already saved from suicide is quite considerably. From this, we may conclude that when our men and women are spiritists or believe in the life after death and reincarnation, conscious suicide will cease to exist. And what intrigued me is in India is the #1 country in the whole world higher in suicide. And the country is one of the more spiritual country in the world today. They believe in the spirit, the reincarnation, and that intrigued me. What I love from with spiritism too, because all the books, the help, and all the teachings, they teaching us how life goes after death. In this book I'm writing, I have 3 parts. The part that I tell the story, what was motivated to cause the crime. And the second part, the hell that she lived on for a long period of time, if I'm not wrong, about 30 years. Just a correlate, can be more or less, no? But I was 30 years in the lower zone, living as hell. We know who has seen the movie Astral Life. André Luiz was considered suicide. They were calling him a suicide. He was a doctor, a scientist, and he died on an operation table from ulcers. So he could not understand why they were accusing him of assassin. No, assassin, you kill yourself. He could not understand that until he learned that he has knowledge, he was a scientist, he's a doctor, and he didn't took a good care of himself. He knows better. He could be treating the ulcers, and the ulcers causing his death. So imagine, it's not just, is it like a brother was saying, it's not just one cause of suicide. It's many ways we causing death, and we are responsible for them. Conscious suicide, when you prepared, we plan it. And I tell you something very important to know, and this is happening with all of us. Every time, every worst time of our life, a sweet voice will try to guide us. If we do not listen, because the attraction in different levels, if our mind is not focused or praying in a good connection, we'll tap our ears to listen mentally the good advice from the guardian angels, the good spirit around us, the good spirit of friends around us. So desperately, they will use other people around us. They will use someone to give us a message, and someone will be ignore that message. They will do everything. When that happens, you make sure that the spiritual world has done everything to talk to the parents, talk to your friend. But imagine if someone in that environment, in that case, the parents of the girl was so busy in their minds to serving the and do better their job. So they do not know what was going wrong with her. They do not pay attention. So, but as a consequence of that, we are in a hatredness war today, wars, condemning any political parts. We are driving in this war too. We are condemning one another. We're driving faster than other. We are causing accident. We are causing our own death. That is considered suicide too. And when we are not eating well, we are not eating healthy, we don't care about the great population of lovely light beings inside of us to keep this body alive. We are killing their cells. We are poison ourselves with so much negativities and poison, slowly poison ourselves, causing all this illness that are killing millions of people every day. So I would say less than a second every day someone is dying by the consequence, consciously or unconsciously, of suicide. So Gina, could you read the part of the spirituous book for me, please? Is question 946.
What about those who resort to suicide in order to escape from the troubles and disappointment of this world? The answer: poor spirits who do not have the courage to bear the misfortunes of life. God helps those who suffer, but not to those who have neither strength nor courage. The tribulations of life are meant as trials or expiations. Happy are they who bear them without without complaining, for they shall be rewarded. But woe to those who, in their impiety, hope to find salvation in chance or luck, to borrow their own language, may in fact favor them for a moment, but only to make them later and more cruelly feel the emptiness of these words. And he says further, won't those who have driven an unhappy person to this act of despair suffer the consequences of their action? Unfortunate beings, they will have to answer for it as for murder.
So you see here the consequence that we causing. We have to ask, what we are doing. Are we motivating someone? We are making someone's a miserable life. What we are done here? How we are seeing this close? What we are doing to get to be better, to be a good example for society, for our family, for our neighbors, for friends who live around us. It's very important to ask that question, and always to be aware, to be conscious, because Jesus said, be aware, all the time, be aware. Anytime that your mind goes to the lower level, we have the choice to push it up, to enlighten it, to allow the light to bring, to do not allow that darkness to continue pushed inside of us. We always have the choice. All of us in different of religions or countries, nations, we are all equal in front of God's eyes. We are all children, and all of us are loved by God. So the good spirit is with us. There is always a way out. Always is the way out. There is not one case that could not be solved. My sister just called me this morning, and last month she was telling me that she was driving in an Uber to her job, and the Uber driver told her out of nothing that they move out to Florianopolis in the south of Brazil, and they were starting a new life. They were from a Christian church, and suddenly his wife got diagnosed with a severe liver cancer, and that even a transplant would not heal her. So she got so desperate. The way the doctor used to give her the news, she was alone, and he said, "This is a cancer, final cancer. You have no way to survive of this. You may have a life of 2 or 3 months." So desperately, what she did, she got home. She have a rope, and her husband got home, and she was having the rope around her neck. And this was recently. So he got her on time and prayed. They prayed desperately, and they said, "No, we cannot give up. We cannot give up. Let we go and pray let we go any other church. Let we find answers to us." So they go to a different church, and there the pastor, was going to sing, and he said, Stop the playing. I have a message for someone that exactly like what happened." And said, "God want to tell you that you have a surprise very soon, and you'll be alive for a long time. And God just want to tell you, have the thoughts in your mind that I want to live. I want to live for my God." That's what he said. So they got out the church, and immediately someone called her, some scientist who was investigating that kind of cancer, and offer her the treatment. And they have a hope that even the cancer would continue. They have a liver transplant, and she got the liver transplant in 30 days. She was out and in treatment, and they moved to the south and start a new life. So that is the hope. No? In case of sufferment and desperation, we always have to calm our minds and pray. We know prayer is connecting ourselves to the highest. We say Jesus is everywhere because we are surrounded by the workers of the light. So every prayers will be answered. God knows everything that is going through our mind and our hearts, and know our desires. And I want our dear sister Sunshine to read. We have a lot of blessings. The Gospel According to Spiritism, it is a great therapist book. Is someone here, because we know that someone can be listened to this. If someone is thinking about this or have planned it, and it is still looking for a way, read this book, The Gospel According to Spiritism. You can find it in Amazon. You can even write, send email to us. We will send this book to your home. So keep in mind that God wants us to help one another, to be a servant, to be a light and a life to anyone who are here deserve. We all deserve to live. Thank you, Sunshine, for reading that part.
So it's chapter 28, and it's the introduction for the prayers for suicide. Human beings never have the right to dispose of their own life, for only God can take them from their earthly captivity when deemed appropriate. Nevertheless, the harshness of divine justice may be softened in accordance with the circumstances, but it is reserved in all its severity for those who have wished to remove themselves from the trials of life. Suicides are like prisoners who escape from prison before having served their sentence, and who, when recaptured, are guarded more severely. Such is the case with suicides who believe they are escaping their present miseries, only to immerse themselves in even greater unhappiness.
Thank you, sister. So to finalize our session today, I want to just you to breathe deeply and listen to this beautiful message. Help with more love. You beg from life the pathway that leads to the highest sphere, and life responds unfailingly. Help with more love, my dear. By seeking in this manner a road that makes you new in every trial that you face. Help with more love, it is true. If you await the future as a nest of blooming flower, by plowing fields of dreaming hope, help with more love each hour. And if misfortune greets you, meet it with courage, sure. Should your trials grow heavier still, help with more love once more. Bear with patience and endurance the dark clouds of dismay, by seeking joy in brighter skies. Help with more love each day. Have they slandered your whole life? Forgive them, whoever they are. For those who live in truth shall always help with more love by far. Did careless friends around you bring you sorrow, grief, or shame? Stand firm before them now and kindly help with more love just the same. If your hopes were wounded deeply by words that cut like sword, do not complain. No criticized. Help with more love outpoured. When illusions cross your pathway and evil lays its snare in the soil of meek humility, help with more love and care. If you truly long to enter communion with the Lord above, lean up the gift of charity and help with great love. Casimiro Cunha, psychographed by Chico Xavier. So what we need? Love. Just let us love. The love of God in us heals everything. Thank you.
thank you, sister. Yeah, it's always a hard topic, and I think that you hit into something that I just wanted to reinforce that I read here in the chapter 5 of the gospel, that calm and resignation are key for us to be serene and receive the messages from the spirits on high. So the more that we can just stay calm and resign to God, those are going to be key. So thank you for sharing.
If I may, I just want to